What's going on, guys? Chameleon here. The update has officially gone through, update 1.18. So I'm going to go over for you guys, see what's in there. I'll even show you guys the new map that just came out. But real quick, before we start, please smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And here we go. Let's do this. First up, we got the what's new section. It looks like they added a new operator called Talon, who will most likely be available by purchase, considering what they've done with these in the past. We got the Candor Hideout 24/7 playlist and Modern Warfare multiplayer. I'll actually show you guys this at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. I'll explore the map and just run around. NVG Infected multiplayer mode, Infected in the Dark. This is a mode we've seen previously. Survivals have a thermal sight and limited NVG battery, but the Infected can see in the dark. Realism damage, so make those headshots count. Basically, one shot to the head, it's an instant kill, just like realism mode. Plunder blood money, guaranteed cash drops on all kills, so if someone keeps spawning in, they'll be feeding you lots and lots of money. Bounty contracts and finishing moves pay extra cash. This will encourage people to pick up the pace, play faster, engage a little more. General fixes. These are bug fixes and problems that have been resolved. Nothing groundbreaking here. The one that stands out to me the most though is where it says, we now show weapon and equipment counts in the kill cam. If a player was using stopping power, then the ammo count will be orange to denote this. We also show whether a player is using dead silence in the kill cam as well. This is pretty important because sometimes when we get killed, we're all like, how the heck did that person just kill me? So maybe it was due to stopping power or they snuck up with dead silence, whatever. But now we'll at least have some more clarity on what exactly happened. Next up, we have the weapons. Increase the max travel time for crossbow bolts from 3 seconds to 6 seconds for longer distance shots. 3 seconds is a long time as it is for the crossbow bolts, but they just basically double the distance you can shoot now to 6 seconds. Assuming you angle it correctly, of course, you'll get some crazy long shots now. So this will make for some cool trick shots or highlight reels for sure. Bolt action rechamber will no longer be re-triggered if interrupted after the round has been ejected. This fixes an issue with redundant bolt action rechambers after weapon switches. This is basically a bug fix. If you kept switching weapons before, it would keep rechambering the weapon, which was super annoying. And I know some people had issues with this, for example, using the car, but it's been resolved now. Removing an accurate attachment description from Solo Zero NVG Enhanced Scope, Optic Glint visible to enemies. They corrected the description here. Before it said the glint was visible to enemies, which was wrong, so they fixed the misinformation here to keep it accurate. Perks. Amped increased amp reload speeds for Strela P, Pila, and Joker. This is an increase in reload speeds for all the launchers except for the RPG. EOD damage resistance, fixes and tuning. Fixed an issue where thermite equipment was not showing the damage resistance icon even though damage resistance was being applied. So you couldn't tell if someone had EOD on when hitting them with a thermite. The indicator or icon wouldn't pop up, but it's been fixed now. Stuck thermite and thermite bolts no longer have their damage reduced. If you end up sticking someone, they're most likely going to die. Field upgrades. Field Upgrade Pro stopped cases where field upgrade placements would cause equipment to be used. There was an issue you would throw your equipment because it would fail to use a specific one depending on the order you would put them in. Tactical insert, added broken tactical insert icon that is shown when the tac insert is destroyed. This is nice because people who use it will now get some extra intel so they can tell when someone breaks it. Deployable cover, shotguns now destroy deployable cover with 3 melee hits. This is nice because personally, I never really attempt to destroy deployable covers. Anytime I've run into them, someone's usually hiding behind them and it turns into a quick gunfight. Added damage stats for vehicle and thermite damage. Fixed a bug where placing deployable cover on a door 2 times would allow the door to be moved. I actually had no idea that even existed, so that's interesting. EMP drone, allow the EMP drone to be used at the start of a new round in multiplayer round game modes. This sounds like in Search and Destroy or cyber attack games, you can now use the EMP drone right away where before you couldn't. Stopping power, we've doubled the amount of stopping power ammo given to akimbo weapons. This is actually really good because if you have 2 weapons, it only makes sense to give you double the ammo. So for example, if you're using the 357 Magnum, instead of 6 rounds, you'll now get 12. PC, stun grenades are now less intense. Obviously PC users are going to be super happy about this. Several fixes to prevent crashes and improve stability. I know one of my good friends out there is going to be ecstatic about this because we've had some would-be victories in Warzone, but then his computer would crash and we'd lose because we lost our teammate. So he'll be pumped for this for sure. Campaign and Spec Ops. I'm actually going to skip these because obviously everyone is mostly playing multiplayer in Warzone right now. However, I'll place a link to these patch notes in the description in case you want to check them out yourself. Ground War, fix for a bug that resulted in a player falling through the map upon spawning on a tank as it became full. That's never happened to me, but that sounds crazy. So it's a good thing they fixed that. Warzone, new weapons can be found on the ground in supply boxes, 7.25 shotgun, MK2 carbine, EBR-14, and the GS handgun. So these will be common and rare. For example, before the MK2 carbine could only be found at a different rarity, but now it'll be a common drop or as a ground drop. None of these guns are too crazy. Even with the 7.25, it can take someone out quick when you're close up, but it'll take at least 2 shots since it generally does 100 to 140 damage. Players who disconnect and last stand will now drop their items when leaving the game. This is another really good fix because a lot of times when you would down someone, they would leave the match and you wouldn't be able to get their money or loot or even get credit for the kill. Fix for a bug where the animation for the player equipping a gas mask will interrupt and block players from deploying their parachute. I'm glad they fixed this as well because this would be a terrible way to go out in the middle of a match. Tune close-up shotgun damage to prevent a single shotgun blast from downing a fully armored player. Stopping power can still make this happen. Ooh, this is actually a big change. A lot of times in Warzone, especially with the Model 680, people would get down with one shotgun blast, assuming it was spot on, which was really annoying. So if it happens now, that'll mean that the player at least had stopping power on, which gives stopping power even more value and might make you feel a little better about getting down by one shot too. Added Warzone specific controller button layouts. The bumper ping and bumper ping flip layouts will allow those playing Warzone with the controller to use the ping feature more efficiently. Wow, this could be pretty great because instead of throwing a lethal, you could set it to ping with L1 or LB on your controller, which would make it a lot easier to ping things. Plunder. Players can no longer stack self-revive kits. I don't play Plunder enough. I always play Battle Royale, so I didn't know this, but I guess they stopped that from happening. Players that are spectating still get Plunder payouts from contracts, but at only 40% of the value paid to living players, which is nice because it adds more incentive to do those contracts. Fixes to help prevent hitching when interacting with cash deposit helicopters and recon contracts. That's another good change. Battle Royale. Fix for a rare bug that allowed players to equip 2 riot shields if they had 2 different camos, but only one would appear on the player. I had no idea this even existed, and I'm not sure why you would want to do this, but I'm glad they fixed it. Made it easier to see which item is selected while using a buy station. Some people must have been struggling to see what they were buying. Updated button layout for equipment while using gamepad. Fixed a bug for players are not receiving a banner on the top right of the screen for allies or enemies initiating kill streaks. That's definitely another good fix. Prevent bullets that hit the riot shield from depleting player armor. This is also a good fix because if you guys ran around with a riot shield and got hit, even though you didn't take any health damage, you lose your armor, so there was no benefit. You would get shot, deplete your armor, and then just have your normal health. If a player flies a recon drone out of bounds, the player will hear the out of bounds countdown timer but will not see the countdown splash on their screen. This has been fixed. That's a solid fix. Now they'll get a warning if they're out of bounds. Fix for various and potential exploits. There was an exploit near the hospital or the train, so that's good. Field upgrades. Fixed a bug where some field upgrades were not ending at the end of the pre-match. That's good. You don't want someone to start with a field upgrade right off the bat. Players will now get a kill when someone that you've downed disconnects from the game. We talked about this earlier, but this is awesome. Now you won't lose out on loot or a kill. Reduce the amount of cash given for averting a bounty. This is good because a lot of times if the bounty is high, players will just run away. And with things like helicopters or trucks, it's pretty easy to just keep averting enemies until the timer runs out. Increase price of loadout drop within the buy station to $8,500. I love getting my loadout, so I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I guess I'll know for sure once I've played a few games or so. But that about wraps it up for the patch notes. Let's take a look at the new map now. My first impression of the new map is that it's pretty small. It looks more ideal for a 6v6 rather than a 10v10. But let's go explore. What I'll try to do is stay on the outer edges and make a whole lap around. Got some birds flying here. Big tower. Seems like there will be a lot of close quarters combat in this map. It's got a Ramaza vibe to it. This is probably another spawn point. I'm seeing a few different buildings around, but I'm staying on the outer edges, so I won't go into all of them. Let's go into this one. There's 2 rooms in here. This is probably another spawn point. There's a cannon over there. A ladder. You can probably go on top of that building. And we're back at the tower. So you can see this is a really small map. We did that pretty quickly. Personally, I think I'm going to like this map a lot. It seems like it could be fun. And I wonder if I can go in here. Let's see. Oh, I can. This will be interesting. I feel like a lot of people will hide in there. But what I'll do tonight is play some game modes on this map. I'll see how it goes and let you guys know what I think. And that about wraps it up for this video. If this video was helpful to you, please smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.